Good morning, Patrick, coming to you live again from Complete Health in Eastbourne, and just wanted to jump through one of my favorite things to talk about with people is the physiological stress response. So I finished my shift yesterday. When I finished work, I went downstairs, and at the end of my shift, I always download all of my x-rays off of the computer, anything that we've done for the day. It's downloaded onto the memory stick, uploaded into our system and our software, and then obviously all of my images are there ready on my computer when my patients next come in so that we can go through them. So as I get downstairs, machine switched on, it's been working for the whole day, and I have a look at the machine and it's flashing. And I can honestly tell you that since March, that machine has not stopped doing bizarre things. It's been doing bizarre things the absolutely whole time. And I tell you, it has been probably one of the most stressful situations of my life. And it's driving me absolutely bonkers. However, the thing is that now I'm fine. And the reason being is that obviously we can look, stress is a physiological thing. There is no way that anyone in their life can avoid stress 100% of the time. It's physically impossible. But the point is that we can choose to manifest in the stress, or we can choose to move away from it and actually change. Now, stress has got a biological or physiological function in our body. So what essentially happens is when we get stressed, normally the most common reason for something like that would be is if we were in danger. That was the whole point of the stress response being there. It was there for our survival. So if all of a sudden a tiger walked down the street, would I want that stress response to work? Because if it did not, how long would I last sitting next to a tiger without my stress response working? Now, what typically happens is that when that response turns on, all of your blood goes away from your vital organs and goes towards your arms and your legs. Now, if you think about it, the reason why your blood goes away from your vital organs and towards your arms and legs is that if there was a tiger there, you would want to either run really, really fast, or you'd be getting ready to fight off whatever that predator was. However, do you ever think about what that might actually be doing to our organs? Have we ever thought about what that might be doing to our heart long term? Because again, all of us can think about it when we have that stress response. What happens to our heart rate? Most of us are conscious about the fact that our heart will start racing, our breathing will start to become shallow. Most people won't know that digestion goes down. And so this is when we can actually start to see these really serious side effects start to occur. So by the way, I completely have got stress in my life. Like I say, the x-ray machine in our clinic has been an absolute bugbear for the last 3 months for me, during probably one of the most stressful times on the planet. But there are some really easy things that I do personally that I know bring my stress response down. Now, there are a few things that you can do as well. Number one, living a life on purpose. This has probably been the number one thing that people have found actually reduces people's stress. So people like Gandhi and Mother Teresa, despite the fact that those people had absolutely zero income coming from the types of stuff that they were doing, and the levels of trauma and physical trauma and emotional trauma that they had to see in people, they were almost always happy and they were almost always healthy. And they lived very long and fruitful lives. 2, look after your mental well-being. I personally do meditation, but any sort of mindfulness counseling, CBT, something where you actually look at your issues, address them, and move on. Because the problem a lot of us have is that when we create a thought, we create a pattern. And when we create a pattern, it then becomes very difficult to move away from that. So say, for example, many of us will wake up in the morning, we'll get out the same side of the bed, we'll walk downstairs, or go straight to the bathroom, we'll use the toilet, we'll go to the shower, we'll do our teeth, we'll go downstairs, we'll make a coffee, we drive the same way to work. And it's that same thought process over and over and over and over and over and over and over. Now, the thing is when we live in a stressful scenario or a stressful response, we can live and choose to stay in that response. And so it becomes then very difficult to then move out of it and break that pattern, if you're breaking that pattern. So personally, one of the things that I've found is that by physically creating the thought of positivity, then when a stressful scenario comes in, it becomes much easier to then go, okay, how can I change this and how can I control this, and just move on from it. One other thing that I find really, really helpful for the stress response is exercise. Now, exercise naturally raises our serotonin levels. And by the way, it doesn't really matter what that type of exercise is. It could be walking, it could be cycling, it could be rock climbing, it could be karate, kickboxing. You choose whatever exercise makes you happiest is the type that you should choose. Some people will be resistance training. Some people, it doesn't matter. What I know is that physiologically it takes us to a state of rest and digest once we come away from the exercise. So really, really, really simple. Try and find something that you really enjoy doing for work, find something you really enjoy doing for exercise, and find a mindfulness practice or something you can do mentally. And by the way, when I talk about stuff like meditation, a lot of people think of the Tibetan monk sitting on top of a hill in his robes, singing mantras. For some people, I kind of consider meditation would be doing something that you really, really enjoy doing. So if you were really into playing a musical instrument, and that was really kind of your safe space where all of your thoughts would get lost, that's the place to go. Because what we know is when we go into that space, our actual brainwaves are actually allowed to change. And they've actually recorded this on, it's not EMGs because that would be muscle electric activity, but with brain activity, they've put diodes on the brain, and they actually watch when someone goes into that state where they're fully relaxed, the brain waves completely change. And that's when we start to see those neurons start to recover and our bodies start to recover. So make sure you're de-stressing. If you have got stressful scenarios going on in your life, make sure you're doing something about it. And like I say, this is probably the time on the planet where I've seen the most fear and stress being fed to everyone on the planet in my lifetime. So guys, take care of yourself. If you need any advice on any other ways that you can manage your mentality or your stress, we are, as the name suggests, Complete Health. We even have psychologists and counselors that work on site with us because we genuinely believe in the full package. Till tomorrow, guys. If you need anything, obviously you can leave a comment below, or you can drop us a message on the Facebook Messenger app, or equally you can phone us on the clinic. You can find everything on our website, which is www.completehealth.clinic, or our email is info@completehealth.clinic. If you need anything, we are here to help. Till tomorrow. Speak to you soon.